Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be pattern testing my Predator gun that I use for predator hunting. It's an old 1300 pump gun that I bought in the 80s. It's got a 22-inch barrel. It was the turkey special at the time. It does have the barrel has been ported by Briley, which may or may not make a difference, but just so if you see that on there, you go, well, that barrel's not stock. Well, it does have porting. I've had a lot of success with it. Just want to try out some of the new stuff, new chokes, new ammunition, see if we can make it a little bit more effective. Today we're going to try out the Winchester Varmint X. Got high hopes for this. It's got the shot lock technology. It's 1.5 ounces of BBs. We're going to run it through a bunch, maybe, unless we get, great results right off the bat. But we're going to run it through a bunch of chokes and see how effective we can make it. All right, first choke up is going to be an old True Glow turkey choke. It measures 665. This is the choke that patterned my old loads the best. So we're going to start off with it and then see where we go from there. All right, guys, this is what we got with the Winchester 1300 22-inch barrel Varmint X at 40 yards. We were using the old True Glow turkey choke. It's a 665 constriction, pretty tight for a bigger pellet size like this, but it worked really well. We got 37 pellets in a 10-inch circle here, and then 21 in the 20-inch ring outside of it. Shot was low, but I'll adjust for that. That doesn't matter. We're pattern testing today. We're not shooting for point aim. So anyway, first choke is going to be hard to beat because that's getting, I don't know how many BBs are in that shell, 75 or 80, 70 to 80, something like that. And we got 77 total on a sheet of paper that's 35 inches wide and maybe 40 inches tall. Easily. I don't know what the overall spread there would be, but it's not much more than 20 inches because this is a 20-inch circle right here, and I just have a couple outside of that. That's a pretty good pattern right there. That's what I'm looking for, a pattern that I could probably count on at 50 yards. That'll do the job. Good pattern density there. All right, next up we're going to have the Indian Creek 660. We're going even tighter. This is the 660 Indian Creek turkey choke. Probably should be too much, but we'll try it anyway. I remember to put a microphone on. My first time ever doing this, so we'll forget a lot of stuff. But anyway, the recoil was violent on that, pretty violent, very light gun, pump gun. You can always tell on the 1300 how much recoil a shell has. If they eject the shell on their own, it's a pretty stout shell. So I'm going to wear a recoil pad so I don't get unnecessarily injured from this thing. No sense in taking a beating if you don't have to. All right, look down and see what we got. Not a lot to talk about here. That was too much choke, in my opinion, for this load. Nothing wrong with the choke or the load, just the two don't match up. Got a really dense number of pellets here, and then it just it's kind of strange, really. And they're all there pretty much. Like I said, I don't know exactly how many pellets are in that load, but there's 77 pellets on this paper. No sense of drawing circles or anything. It's like I say, it's not a consistent pattern. I want a dense core in the middle, and then have those, the ring around it. Well, I've got a dense core in the corner here, and then I've got it flying out like this. Got one clear over there. That's not what I'm looking for. So, but you never know. We gave it a try. You know, it wasn't. It was too much for that load. So we'll try something else. That's the Indian Creek 660, not their varmint choke. We do have their varmint choke. We'll give that a try. It's much bigger. That's their turkey choke. That's actually the turkey choke that I turkey hunt with. So, anyway, yeah. Well, we gave it a try. All right, we had a little microphone trouble here, so this is a good time to point out that I bought all this stuff myself, and I'm not sponsored. You're looking at the Mossberg X Factor choke that came stock in my 940 Pro Turkey. It's a 670 constriction. We're going to run some ammo through that. Want to point out that when we go down and look at the target, I really don't give it a fair shake. It actually shoots one of the better patterns that you're going to see today. I haven't had real good results with this choke in the past, so actually I was a little bit surprised. It's a little splotchy, but it's definitely worth considering. It's not too bad of a pattern. All right, here we have the results from the Mossberg X Factor choke with the Varmint X ammunition. That's a 670 constriction choke. I'm a little biased because I've never had great results with this choke with anything. Always, good or mediocre, but never great. And it kind of plays out here as well. Unfortunately, it's a good pattern. It's not as good as that 665 did, but you got 30 in this in the center circle, and then 31 in the ring around it, and just a handful of flyers. So we got 78 on the paper. The other ones have been throwing, I think, 77. Counted 78. Might be a counting error. This is not exact anyway, but so they're all there on a 35-inch piece of paper. But it's like, what is this and what is this? That could be, it's a shotgun, so sometimes those things happen, but random things can happen. But it seems like it's always an inconsistent pattern. I got way more pellets right here than I do right here, and I've got nothing here and nothing here. Nice core, not bad for a core, but just kind of tight here, tight here, tight here, and then everything else is just kind of spread out. That'll work. Um, but I'm trying to get the best results that I possibly can, and that's not going to cut it. But we gave it a try. We'll try something else. Okay, microphone's on this time. Next choke up, it's going to be the Indian Creek 680 Predator Diamond Predator Assault. A lot of words. This is the first time I've ever ran any ammo through it, so we'll give that a try. It is actually made for the round that we're shooting, whereas the other ones were all dedicated turkey chokes. So see how she does. I'd like to point out that it's just hot. It's so hot that I can only shoot once, and then I have to put the cameras in an ice chest. So we're doing the best we can. All right, let's have a look. All right, we had a camera overheat, so we'll talk about this on the ground here. That's the Predator Assault 680 that by Indian Creek with the Varmint X at 40 yards. Um, Not a terrible pattern. Shot really low, so we lost some pellets off the paper. So we only had 70 pellets on the paper. Only 20 or so in the core, that 10-inch circle. And more importantly, what I'm trying to avoid is some of these holes. And, spotchy, inconsistent patterns. Um, it's hard to depend on those when you're hunting. I know a lot of guys like to use a silhouette of a coyote, but a lot of half your shots, at least half of my shots, are with them coming in straight to me. I need a consistent, tight core I need a consistent pattern that doesn't have any holes in it, because that frontal shot is it's not as big as a broadside shot. So plus I'm wanting a pattern that'll stretch out to 50 yards. So that's we've already had something better, so we'll just move on and go to the next one. All right, next up we got the Kicks Buck Kicker. Um, this is the extra full model, measures right around a 685-ish. It has some different kind of geometry inside of it, so if you depends on where you measure it, but it's somewhere in there. It's a little more open than the Indian Creek we just shot. Got a different kind of porting. We'll see how it does. All right, let's go have a look. All right, here we have the Kicks Buck Kicker Extra Full 685-ish. It's their extra full, designed for a little smaller buckshot, BB and number 4 buck, I think specifically, maybe number 1. But not a bad pattern. I wouldn't say that's as consistent as that 665 we shot, but it's not bad. Interesting that it shot so much higher than the last one did. But that's you got to shoot your gun. You never know what they're going. But the shotgun, the ammo, and the choke, they can really change the point of aim. Anyway, we got 31 in a 10-inch circle, and then 23 outside of that in a 20-inch circle. Had 70 on the paper. It did have a tendency to like throw some real wild ones, but the pellets at the bottom of that shell get really smashed up, and you'll always have some sacrificial, almost always. But yeah, that doesn't bother me too much. This is really what I'm interested in here is it's some consistency, and obviously we have a hole here. We have a pretty good gap there. That might change. If whatever I find I like, I'm going to shoot it multiple times to make sure that the first shot wasn't just luck. But this one's definitely worth considering. Pretty nice pattern. I'll be excited to try this one with number 4 buck. We're not done testing. Once we get done with Varmint X, then hopefully on a nicer day we'll try some other. I got a pile of other loads we can try. Just starting off with the Varmint X. So anyway, on to the next one. All right, guys, something a little bit different. We've got a Briley target choke. This is actually the choke that I shoot trap with a different gun. It's unlike all the other ones, is not ported, and it measures 690. It says light full, but it measures 690. So we're moving up just a little bit bigger than the last choke, and we'll see how it does. All right, let's go have a look. So here we have our Briley target choke with the 690 constriction. They certainly didn't make that choke with this in mind, but it did well. I would definitely hunt with that. Obviously, we've seen better, so this was really not up for consideration. It's just a really nice, in terms of like a 20-inch, 40-yard pattern. That's not too bad. We do have this. It's like these pellets, from some reason, decided they were going to be over here instead of right here. I'm not sure what happened there. We got 78, though they're all on here, or almost all of them anyway. We got 25 in a 10-inch circle, and then we got 35 in the ring around it. So it's a nice group. It's not great. I don't love it, but it's nice. Definitely, I think a lot of people would be real happy with that. I'm happy with it. Just not over the moon. Just wish it was a little bit more consistent. We didn't have this. or this. But you're going to have that sometimes, no matter what. Um, but that's pretty good. Pretty good. Um, Probably not going to consider that any further, but it's interesting to just try different stuff, and you never know when you find some kind of combination that really works well. That does work good. Just we have something that's better already. All right, guys, last one. This is going to be even more open. I'm trying this choke out. I like to watch. You guys probably know Matt if you watch patterning videos. Matt Tyree, one of his viewers, recommended that choke, so he gave it a try. Had some pretty impressive results with number 4 buck, um, which we'll be trying in other videos. But we got it. We might as well give it a try with this Varmint X. This is the Avian X Crusher, and this is the heavy modified. It has bumps in it, like the old Pattern Masters had, and it has rifling, straight rifling in it, and it has some light porting. It's pretty aggressive looking. It's kind of intimidating. Uh, yeah, it's got a lot going on, and it's a heavy modified. I didn't measure it. It's got so much going on the inside. I don't even know how you'd measure it, but we're going to give it a try today and see how it does with some Varmint X ammo. All right, let's go see what that got us. All right, there we have it. The last test of the day here. Avian X heavy modified. The Avian X Crusher. It's a waterfowl choke. This is interesting to try anyway. 63 pellets on the 35-inch paper here. Um, it's not a terrible pattern. We've got, I don't know if I'd call that a hole. We got some around there, but it's splotchy. It's splotchy. We got 20 pellets in a 10-inch circle here. We got 28 in the ring around it. That's a 20-inch circle. It's not a terrible pattern. It's actually better than I thought it would be. As open it is as it is. I know Longbeard XR likes a lot of choke. I kind of expected the Varmint X to like a lot of choke as well, and it does. We found the limit there at 660 was too much, but I'm not going to hunt with this. But you never know. Sometimes crazy things like this really work out, and I'll be excited to try that with number 4 buck. The bigger pellets may react well to that. Of course, Matt had really good luck with it. Guy puts in a lot of work. Appreciate what he does. Yeah, that kind of concludes that. If you're wondering about the point of aim changing on this and that gun being a pump, um, I didn't mention it, but that gun has the barrel and the receiver are fixed together. You can't take the barrel off the receiver. I won't go into the weeds on how it was done or all that. That's a huge rabbit hole. But I did that so I could put a receiver mounted set of sights on that gun. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take that 665 back out, and then I'm going to shoot it 2 or 3 more times, make sure the point of aim is right on it, because I don't even know where we're at with it now. And I'll have it ready to go hunting. So in the next few days, if I get a chance to go out, I'll have something that's sighted in and ready to go. But yeah, stay tuned for some more tests. If this goes well and I can edit it all right, we'll do some number 4 buck and some other oddball ammo stuff, some stuff that's a little bit more wallet friendly than this. But and you won't see any TSS. There's a big question mark on whether the next year, this is 2026. We don't know what's going on with TSS. So I hate to get all set up for it, then not be able to get it, or maybe it's twice as expensive as it was, and it was already way too expensive. So obviously, it's if you got a comment about that's the most effective, absolutely, it's hands down twice as effective as the stuff that we're using right now. But with my luck, I usually buy TSS, use it, and then I kill my coyote at 20 yards. So I haven't really had a need for it. So I don't mess with it a whole lot, and I like to shoot my gun. And the best way to know your gun is to shoot it. So you're not going to do that with TSS. You're not going to just sit out there and just shoot it a bunch. But it still is hands down the most effective ammo that you can buy. If you really wanted the most effective thing that you can do, you get TSS. This is for those of us that shoot lead. So anyway, thanks for watching.